So I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that like social media saying of like, oh, I had a baby during COVID. Well, Walter's my COVID dog. We got him in April of 2022, so right after we had our whole extended spring break deal. And it only took a couple weeks and my family was ready to be done. We were exhausted and tired and sick, and we were not having any fun at home. Myself especially really struggled with being so isolated, but to get into all that, we kind of got to rewind a couple of years back to 2016. So what some of you guys might know about me is that in 2016 is when I moved to Troy. I'm originally from Jefferson City. And what you guys might not know about that same week is that in the same week that I was supposed to move into a new home, I lost my grandfather in a tractor accident. So in the same week, I left the only home I ever knew, was in a new place, started a new school, and said goodbye to my grandfather. At 9 years old, that was a lot for me. So much so that I was diagnosed with dissociative amnesia. I don't remember the entire week. I blocked the whole thing out. I couldn't tell you what my grandma's funeral was like. I couldn't remember the first day at Clover Park. None of it. It's all a blur. As the weeks went by, I really struggled with my grief. My dad was different because he lost his father so drastic in such a dramatic way. My mom was different because my dad was different. We were in a new city, we didn't know anyone, and it was really hard. I didn't feel like I had a home here. I didn't feel like I belonged in Troy. And in doing so, I just really didn't understand what was happening in my life. I fell into a really bad depression and anxiety, and as that went on, a couple months, I lost my grandma to cancer. She had battled it for 20 years, and because of that, everyone expected it. They were all adults, they had made their peace with it, but I was not. I didn't understand. I was angry. I was like, why is no one crying? Why is no one upset? She's gone. She's not coming back. And I really struggled. And on top of all the struggling that I'd already endured, it got so bad that I was hospitalized. I didn't want to live. I was 9. As the years went by, my parents did everything they could to get me the help that I needed, the medication, the therapy, I did all of it. A couple years go by and we're back in COVID, and I'm all alone again. I didn't have my friends that I finally made. I was stuck in my house. I didn't know what I was doing anymore. It got so bad again that my parents finally saw it, and they got me Walter. Walter became my biggest support system. He's the person who comforted me when I cried. He was the person who stayed up with me when I had a lot of sleepless nights, and he was there through all of it. He was the greatest listener and the best friend that anyone could ask for. And he also gave me a purpose. I couldn't distract myself with school anymore, and so the only thing I had was training Walter. All of his commands like sit and stay and come were all taught to by me. And it was the only thing that kept me going. I spent all my days going on long walks with him and swimming and playing frisbee in the yard. And to this day, he is still my best friend. He's the first person to greet me when I come home from school. He's still my best listener, and he's still the biggest support system I had in my life. But most importantly, he's a reminder. He's a reminder that when I felt so alone and isolated and I didn't think anyone could understand what I was going through, that my parents saw me and they wanted to help me. They may not have understood what I was feeling or the thoughts that I had or why I was feeling it, but they still were there for me. And that's the most important thing. And they loved me and they showed that, and they got me Walter when I needed him the most. And I honestly can say with almost all the certainty in the world that without Walter and without my family, I wouldn't be here to give you guys this